Hello YouTube, hello. Right, just woke up. Okay, so bear with me just a second to woke up. Right. I'm gonna open something I've been playing around with on eBay for a while now, a little while. I've been messing around with this on eBay for a little while, having to let go and keep hold. I bookmark some things and managed to buy something off eBay which I made up about. Right. What it is you know in the good old days, the 80s and the 90s, where music groups would release their videos, compilations of video singles to their 7 inches, their radio hits. Sometimes they do a greatest hits on CD, and a lot of the time they'd also release their greatest hits videos to VHS before DVD, which is fine and dandy. And then later on, after that, the artists would then re-release. Now we're talking about the videos, the compilation of the videos on DVD. If they were a successful band and they continued through the 90s and the 2000s, their greatest hits videos would get re-released on DVD. Now, New Order did it. If you're looking in 5.1 surround, New Order did it. In 5.1 surround, if you're very lucky, you'll get it in 5.1 surround. At least LPCM. And their greatest hits compilation was fab. It's fab. I've done an opening of this on my channel very early on in my channel. You'll find it. I think it's called A New Order or something. If you scan through my early videos, you'll find it. Now, New Order did it. New Order A Collection, and this was, as saying, 5.1, including some of their really latest stuff. They released an album about 5 years ago, and they had a few hit singles off that. They were signed in America, a label in America. They were re-signed in America also to release this album over there. And as a result, pending results, their previous VHS compilation of hits got re-released on DVD in a 5.1 surround mix, which is fab and dandy. So that's an example of how if the greatest hits of VHS is re-released to DVD, it's great because then it's on digital format, and then you can just like have great time with it, fab time with it. Anything digital, you can have fab time with it, because then you can play it through a surround sound system. You can virtualize the sound, and modern plasma TVs can convert the visuals to quite a good standard. I've got a 3D converter. I've got a 3D TV, which the digital picture can be converted to 3D images. Admittedly not the best if it's a conversion job, but what I'm saying is it's great when the old VHS's videos are re-released on DVD. It's an example of a good one. And here's one I've been fucking around with on eBay for a while now, which I only had on VHS. Just like the New Order one, and I've finally managed to upgrade to DVD, which I'm like mega about, because it's also another favourite band of mine from way back when I was in school. I bought a vinyl of theirs in my previous video, and I opened that for you. I showed you that by a band from the 80s, which were huge over here, but weren't that big in America. huge in Europe, massive in Europe, throughout Europe, England, Ireland as well. I'm not sure that they had longevity in the US, that's all. They did make a name for themselves in the US, but not longevity-wise. Yeah, it is. It is something which I'm getting a real fucking kick out of having, just like the new order one. Dudes, wrap this up now. Again, just like the vinyl in my previous video, which was only the price of a pint of beer. This again was the same price of a pint of beer. You get them, don't you? If you're patient on eBay, just wait it out. They come up, don't they? Whereas the price of posting is more than the actual item itself, yeah? Okay, here it is. It's AHA. I have a little tale to tell about this. When it was released on VHS, there was only 16 tracks on this, and when it was, and I had that about since '91 when the VHS of that was released. I had that for until now, so it's like '91, 2001, 23 years I've had the VHS for. Okay, I actually use it to sit my computer on. It was released with only 16 tracks. Now, in its re-released DVD form, I don't know about the New Order one, how that was, because I was never, I didn't know that VHS off by heart, I didn't know that one. This AHA one I did. When it was reissued on DVD, it was reissued with an extra track. To have 17 tracks on it. It was reissued on DVD in 2001, 10 years after its VHS counterpart, with an extra track. So when I saw, I didn't know, back in '01 it was reissued. I didn't know that, because I played the VHS all the time, constantly. So, mega. It's not 5.1, it's all region though. It is linear PCM, 8.5.1, but I've got as I said, it's digital, so it's fine. Digital media, no, it's not digital. Let me go and get me VHS, I'll show you what I've been used to for all this time. 20 odd years. When I saw it on eBay, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. Saw it on eBay about 2 months ago on DVD, and I couldn't believe it. Just couldn't believe it. 91, 2000. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So it's been on DVD for 2001, for 11, 12 years, and I didn't know, and I was like that. Whoa. Got it now. On DVD. Got it. It's been reissued, this, several times after '01, with even more tracks on, because they've continued to release albums. But I was never into their really recent stuff, just their older stuff. So, and that extra track, which is thrown on it, I was really into Move to Memphis, it's called. I was really into that as well. See, they took a brief hiatus after the album which Moved to Memphis was on. They took a brief hiatus after that, and then came back and did several more albums up to the present day. And all the reissues of this, I've had stuff off those said later albums, which I was never into. So I've never really continued buying their stuff. But when I saw this online just the other day, about a month or so ago, as I say, it's like, with that extra track on Route to Memphis, I was like, yes, I'll go for that, because I prefer this artwork as well, prefer it. There's no booklets. I bet you there was a booklet originally. I was saying when I was buying the Mad Men Blu-ray, I bought my Mad Men Series 1 first hand, in case it had a booklet in the hinge, and it did. When you buy things used, you never get what you originally get with the product. like with the new order one there, it's a buckle there, it's a lovely buckle there, and it's hinged there. I'm going to get my VHS of this to show you. Oh. There's the old VHS of it. I've had that for 21 years, did I say 22 years, since 01. It was released in 91. Underneath the word "this compilation," it's tiny writing. '91 there. Its focus is there, just there, up of my nail. 91. It's focusing on my nail now. Tiniest of writing there. Right, the VHS. The introduction bit at the beginning was classed as track 1 on the reissued DVD, which I've just bought. We'll see there where the VHS just goes up to 16 tracks. I show you the extra track. As I say, I said the introduction was classed as 1 it's classed as 1 here, so really, get me? On the VHS it wasn't classed as 1. On the DVD it is, so see here the extra track, even though it's got 18, get me? Now that track, Moved to Memphis, was taken off this album here, Memorial Beach, and this was, this had the track there, Memorial Beach, it's number 2, yeah. See, Moved to Memphis there. It's from this. Now you see, the band had a brief hiatus after releasing this album. They released this album in '93, and this is the last album they did in succession from when they first started. They think this is their 5th album in all. 5th album in a row, in a constant row, from when they first kicked off back in '84. And as I say, they took a brief hiatus from this album, yeah, and then they came back about 4 years later, as I was saying a minute ago, yeah, with some of their newer stuff which they've been doing up to the present day, which I was not into. Now, this was originally issued, as I say, back in '91 on VHS. I mean, this was probably released everywhere, all regions again. And then its first, as I say, this has had several reissues from its original back in '91. This is the very first of its reissues, which I never knew about back in '01. Originally first reissued when they took their first hiatus after this album, with that extra track on, Moved to Memphis, which I liked. I liked all their original run of albums at heart. I loved all their original 5 they did. I loved them all. And that's why when I saw this come up on eBay about 2 months ago, yeah, I was like, mega. All the later reissues of this had different artwork, so they all stood. I knew that this wasn't one of them. Yeah, I think it's had 2 or 3 more reissues after this. But as I say, when I saw this on eBay about 2 months ago, I was like, mega, because I noticed all the original tracks, and with the inclusion of the track from the latest CD, the latest album before their hiatus. Now this was released before they made its original compilation. Yeah, it was released before the band made their 5th CD, 5th album. So obviously the band, their original outfit, record company, Warner's, weren't aware that they were going to do this, because this was hung on. This was issued 84, 94. This was released a long time after the very first album. Normally you get bands which release greatest hits literally after the second album, don't you? These were unusual. This band were unusual. The first hit single was 84 and this 91. So 7 years after a band's first single to get a compilation of any kind, CD or on VHS. Right, this was the very first. The CD counterpart was released at the same time as this, not earlier. 7 years after a first hit single. It's a long time, isn't it? Especially by now, isn't it? Especially by now's standards. There you go. That's what I've just got. Headlines and Deadlines, the hits of our heart. Its first reissue. 201, first reissue. I just couldn't believe it. It was like a dream. It was like in a dream when I saw this. Because all the later reissues after this, as I say, had different artwork and extra tracks, and even the earlier hits they had, amongst their earlier hits, they threw some of the modern stuff integrated amongst them as well, and I never liked that. Never liked that. But they all do it, don't they? All the old bands, when they release greatest hits, contemporary greatest hits, they all do that, don't they? They take all their old material and they throw in modern tracks amongst them, don't they? Just to get them heard, isn't it? So that's why when I saw this, as you can appreciate, I was like over the moon. And its original lineup with the extra track from the 5th album they did. Over the moon. I've got a 6.1 surround system there, and I'm dying, as I say, to up-convert the images to 3D. I never really liked their videos they did, other than their very early stuff. A lot of their videos were edited down from their LP counterparts, and even from their 7-inch counterparts. Some of the videos were edited down, obviously for time constraints, and I particularly liked Our Heart, and it affected me, pissed me off that, really pissed me off that. A 7-inch edit can be edited down as it is, can't it, from their LP counterparts, and then to find the VHS counterpart version, to find the VHS version edited down again, shorter, it used to really wind me up. Really, yeah. Well, I can't wait now. I'm going to go and whack this on now. Yeah, can't wait, mega. As I say, price of a pint of beer. Yeah. Can sometimes surprise you in a good way, eBay, can't it? Not a lot recent years, but it still can, can't it? Yeah. There you go, mega.